Welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and this is my 30th Saturday vlog. And as you can see, we are doing mayhem, as we are wont to do. Because, you know, that's the thing you do during not mayhem. Wow, Julian. We're doing migration. This is migration. So yeah, migration so far is going well. I'm really having a good time. This is kind of an impromptu vlog. I'm actually producing this video about half an hour before it has to come out, so this is going to come out right on the wire. I don't even think I'm going to schedule it. It's probably just going to go release. But yesterday we had a rather busy afternoon. I got out of work late, and then we had to get ready. We got guests coming over, so I wasn't able to do my video like I normally do on Friday night before my friends and I get together to play Final Fantasy. Speaking of which, I'm really enjoying Final Fantasy. Good lord. It's like, where the hell? No, I don't want to target something someone else is already shooting. Auto-targeting in this game is kind of screwed. But yeah, so no, we're playing Final Fantasy 14, and we're in that weird zone between the original quest chain and the X pack, and there's like 140 quests you got to do. And just the leveling all of a sudden got super grindy. I'm like, oh, I know this. Am I playing Final Fantasy or Entropia? But no, it's cool. And I did switch classes from Dragoon, which is like a spearman, a lancer. Jump really high in the air and just drop on enemies, to a red mage, which is kind of a combination between a fighter or a white mage, which is your healer, and a black mage, which is your nuker, right? And the spells I do are stupid flashy. Like, they look like I'm casting nuclear bombs at everything, and then they do like little tiny damage. Because what they're designed to do is build up a gauge and then make my melee attacks really strong for like 3 hits, and then I gotta start over again. Which is really an interesting way to design a character. Oh, it'd probably be helpful if I had my leprechaun out. There we go. So, but yeah, no, we've been having a good time, and it's got a really interesting storyline. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. What I am not enjoying this morning is the fact that I slept until some stupid time in the morning. 8 o'clock. I don't sleep that late, like, ever. And I mean, part of it was because I was up late, and part of it was because I probably drank just a little too much last night. And it's not like I drank a huge amount. Like, I used to drink that much all the time, and I'm trying to cut back, and I know that's part of it. But it's like I'm 35 and I can't handle it anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know, as we get older, it's just, your tolerance just drops like a stone, and I think that's part of the problem. So I think that's going to be my next goal, is to just like, maybe I just need to like stop drinking altogether. I know that would be the healthy and cheap thing to do. But let's be facing it, ladies and gentlemen, booze is not cheap. Not even cheap booze. Kind of scatterbrained this morning. Sorry guys, I apologize for that. This might end up being a really short one, but You know, I was, I do want to say I am really happy. Thank you so much, all of you. I finally hit 100 subscribers. I'm actually at 101. 100 subscribers is an amazing threshold. I am so glad. You know, that's kind of like step one on the goal to becoming a YouTube partner, is making that first 100 subs. And I know that once you hit each threshold, the algorithm treats you a little more nicely. So I really want to say I appreciate all of you for supporting me, for continuing to watch my content. I really appreciate it. It is amazing. I'm really excited to see what the future is. I still set that goal for 13 million subscribers. It's a long way off, but I think we can do it. 1% of YouTube. That's only like a tenth of what PewDiePie has. I don't think that's too much. And we're already on our way. And now that we have 100, let's go for that. Let's go for 500 as the next step toward that goal. I know I've got a goal of 150 by the end of the calendar year, but now the next threshold I think is 500 subs. So let's go for that goal. Thank you so much. I about did a little dance when I found out about that, and I know that's really dorky. Now here I am sitting in my office, and all of a sudden I'm about ready to get up and do a jig because I'm on a break, and I find out I broke 100 subs. But it's true. Whoop. At least it was only a level 12. So I find it really interesting the way that MindArc does migration, and I actually think it's brilliant. I do, because like this is the migration trail, and I think you can kind of see it faintly throughout a lot of Calypso. This is like the main hunting area, and it leads straight up here. And as it started, we started here, and as the migration goes on, they've been pushing the level 12s out, and higher level have ended up back where the starter was. And I think that's brilliant. It's because it feels like an actual migration. And I think they did release the groups over at Monopolis. That's over in I think this is Monopolis here. Yeah. So I think that there's more Longtooth in this vicinity. I've decided not to hunt there for the time being. I might hunt there later on in migration. Migration goes on, I think, for like 2 months. So, I don't know, and I know that there's a wave event up here that I might try out for a video. If it's there this year. Not in the PvP zone, but outside of the PvC, Fort Argus. Outside Fort Argus, there was a waves event on the beach here for Longtooth. That last year, there was no way in hell I could do it. They ate my face. That's how it ended. It was bad. So, but who knows? Maybe I can manage it this time. And it's all shared loot, so maybe I can get like a group of people together and we can all hunt Longtooth up here. But I do enjoy hunting along the trail. This is where I hunted last year, and I think it worked out really well, at least toward the end. Most of last year was spent up at Fort Zeus, which is here, I think. That's Fort Aries. Camara Canyons, Jason Center. Where's Fort Zeus? Oh, that's right. It's up in the purple area. That's Fort Zeus. And that's where you can hunt adolescents. And it's a good place to hunt adolescents because there's a lot of them and they have a high respawn rate. It was good. It was good hunting. I had a good time. Okay, good. just checking to see what I have for ammunition and shrapnel, because I had to buy in with Ped. I wasn't ready for my next depot, but I wanted to keep hunting. So my choices were to buy in with Ped or to wait. So I bought in with Ped. Because we have broken 1,000 of the 3,000 we have to kill this year. That's really my only goal, is to get the Iron 4. If I can get another quest over and above that, that's awesome. But it's that 35 petting, I think it's combat reflexes. Ebo, Kana, long tooth. Yeah, combat reflexes, 35.76. And I get to choose one of these rare gun things, which I probably will never use, but that's fine. If they're tradable, maybe I'll auction it or something. And if not, then I'll just use it to pull, just like I use my LR-15. But yeah, no, I mean this has been good. Okay, there we go. Sorry I'm so quiet, guys. I didn't think I would run out of things to talk about only 10 minutes in. Like I said, I didn't organize my thoughts. Oh! I do have something I can talk about, because I can gush a little bit. So, I'm a fencing instructor, and I've taken on my first student in quite some time. She has some experience fencing, more than a year. That's kind of my rule is to be a student in my style. You have to be in for at least, you have to be fencing for at least a year. And then, you know, there are other things that I look for in a student, but she matched all of them, and so she went out to an event where she's mostly reffing, or we call it marshalling, but she's basically there as a safety person, you know, making sure that nothing goes completely haywire, the tips of swords don't break off, anything like that. Making sure people are safe. That's like the most important thing. In her own words, it's safety is our superpower. And that may seem a little corny, but when you're stabbing at each other full speed with you know, inch-wide sticks of steel, it's really important that you're safe so you don't actually kill each other. You know what I'm saying? So, because after we're done fighting, we want to have drinks with our friends. You know. And most of the time, the people that we're fighting are our friends, because it's a tournament. But she got her, so she's a fencer, but she's only fought single sword, to my knowledge. And she does like to fight with a long wooden spoon in her offhand, because in historical fencing, you can use both hands. It's not like Olympic fencing, where one hand has to be completely out of the way and you can't touch the other person's sword with it. You actually use that other hand. You can put a rigid parry in it, which is like a spoon or a stick or a cane or a scabbard or any number of things that you cannot hit your opponent with it, but you can block their sword with it. Or a buckler, which is a type of small shield. And in some places you can literally use a shield, which I have done. It's kind of crazy, but it's amusing. Then you have non-rigid parry, which is like a cape or a cloak or stuffed animals. I've seen people use bath mats when they're screwing around. I'm not joking. There's nothing funnier than seeing someone come out with a 1970s green shag bath mat to use as a non-rigid parry. Drink your coffee, Bald. Don't nail it. But she got her dagger authorization, and dagger is it's an offhand weapon that you can actually hit your opponent with. Ooh, almost 40 head. Nice. And so she got her rigid parry authorization, which is her specialty up till now, and then she got her dagger authorization, which is a key component of the style I teach, right? It's the style I practice and I teach. because it's predicated on using a rapier and a dagger together. And you can do the style without the rapier. Theoretically, you can do it without weapons because it's based on a mixture of Western fencing and Eastern martial arts. So there's a lot of things that you would expect to see in Tai Chi or in Kenpo in the movements of the Black Tiger style. But she went to this event that unfortunately I couldn't go to due to work, and she got her dagger authorization yesterday morning. I'm really proud of her. It's really exciting to me when someone goes out there and accomplishes something like that. Because it's not easy. You know, you might think, you know, what's the authorization? How tough is it? How easy is it? Well, here's the thing. Getting authorized single sword is not difficult. You just have to be safe. Right? Which is its own challenge, because it's really easy to not be safe when you're swinging a sword around. You know, case in point, I have taken cuts to the leg, like actually, and they're not sharp, they're dull. You can still cut someone with a dull sword. The official term is rebated. So they're not designed to be sharp. But you can still cut someone with it if you hit them hard enough, and that's happened to me a couple times. Always on accident. But I mean, it's a danger, and you go into this knowing that it's a possibility. But anyway, you go in, and getting your basic authorization is just a matter of being safe. And so just to put a point on it, I've gotten cut twice in almost 10 years of fencing. So it's not like it's common. You know, when you fence as long as I have, an accident or two is bound to happen. So don't think for a second that it's a common thing. But anyway, in order to get secondary authorizations, you actually have to do more. You have to show a certain level of skill to get those authorizations. It's more than just safety, especially with a dagger. And dagger, I think, is probably the most challenging because you can and are required to hit your opponent with it. And keep in mind, they are also fighting with a sword and dagger. They have more experience with it. And one of the things you have to do is hit your opponent with the dagger. Now, I don't know how many of you are fencers, but imagine trying to hit someone with a 36-inch sword with an 18-inch dagger. I'll let you do the math on that. It's not easy. It's doable. I've done it. I've done it several times. It's one of my favorite things to do. I call it punking them. Because you basically sweep all their weapons away, you jump into their range, and then you hit them in the head. Is usually how I do it. Or if they do something stupid, they find themselves in your range, and you just kind of like stab them. And then they realize, oh yeah, you've got a dagger. But no, she got her dagger authorization, which means I know for a fact that she had to get inside her opponent's defenses and hit them with this tiny dagger. And I'm very proud of that, because that is not easy. That takes practice. And I haven't had a whole lot of time to work with her just due to circumstance. Like, normally, we're able to practice once a week, and because this is the high event season where there's a lot of tournaments, there's a lot of, well, it's the SCA, so there's more than just tournaments, but there's a lot of events going on. There's a lot of events going on right now, and because of that, practices sometimes don't happen on the regular like they do during the winter, and the event schedule is slower. And so, you know, she was able to get it on her first try. I'm super proud. So I had to gush about that. I'm not even sorry. I had to gush about that. Boy, this guy's brave. Or girl. The Empress. Hunter for Deagle team. She's doing a number on that level 24, and those 12s aren't really doing much to her, so... Okay, fair enough. Maybe she's wearing Perseus armor or something, because I know that for a fact these guys aren't going to do shit to Perseus armor. Looks like we have a delay. There we go. And yes, I know I talk about fencing a lot on these vlogs, but it's really... Besides Entropia Universe, fencing is really my hobby. It's also my sport, and it's one that I'm really passionate about. It's honestly one of the biggest reasons that I'm heavy into Melee and Entropia Universe. Because I like to do what I know. Like we all do, you know, and... When it comes to firearms, I'm fairly good at using them, but really my skill is with a sword. And so that's what I prefer to use in game. I like to tow it with my opponents. It's just the way I am. I know, I'm weird. But what you gonna do? I mean, hell, I put videos up on YouTube. You gotta be a little weird to do that. Sorry guys, okay, to all the content creators that I watch, and I know some of you actually watch my channel, I'm sorry. But it does take a certain type of personality to be able to produce content. Because you really put it out, and for people who don't produce content, you really put it out there when you do this type of thing. And it's more than being like an Instagram influencer or some crap like that. And, I mean, you are putting yourself out there, but it's a lot more curated. I feel like being a YouTuber is really kind of putting yourself on display, even when you don't have a camera in your videos. Oh, hi. Because if you make a mistake, you've got two choices. I mean... There are people who have skill with video editing software. I am not one of them, which is why you don't see any jump cuts ever. So for someone like me who has no video editing skill, my choices are, okay, I made a mistake. I can either leave it in the video, or I have to nuke the video and start over. And I've done that. I have done that when I have made what I feel is an egregious error either in speech or in facts. I have, you know, I've gone out and I've said, okay, this is the way things are, and then I'm like, oh, wait, my own actions just proved me wrong. And so, and I've only done it once or twice on the facts, because I don't mind proving myself wrong in a video, but when it's stupid blatant, I'll be like, okay, I can come back in and say this is what happened. Actually, I'm not sure that's ever happened on video. I know it's happened when I was preparing for videos. Maybe it was just egregious errors in speech. That could be. I don't know. I hold myself to a certain standard when I speak. And I'm not talking about, you know, dirty language or anything like that. It's just... I did a lot of public speaking when I was in school. And I do trip over... excuse me, I do trip over myself sometimes. And to the point where I actually get embarrassed with the amount that I trip over myself. So if I have a day where I trip over myself too much, I'll just nuke the video. Because as someone who is trained to do public speaking, I should be better than that. So that's one of my little things. So, okay, I think this is going to be the last one. Actually, you know what? Let's get up to 10:30. We'll get up to 10:30 and then we will end the vid. So that's just a little peering into how Julian McBain makes his videos. I think in the year and a half I've been producing, I have nuked a grand total of 3 videos overall. That's it. No, that's not true. Not counting McBain Moments videos. I have nuked a couple of McBain Moments videos, but that's more like because I thought I had a topic, and I try to make those videos 8 minutes long. Between 6 and 8 minutes long. And I had one where I got so far off topic in the 6 minutes, I'm like, okay, I don't even have a topic for this video, so I'm getting rid of it. That was an interesting morning. Because I usually film those before work. And then there was one where I said the quote and I went off on a tangent, and then there's a couple where it was, because it had no relation to what I was trying to talk about, I decided to start over. And I was going to put them up separately, and then my Pixelbook had issues and I ended up ghosting it, and so I lost all the footage. So like all of the footage from like my first dozen McBain Moments video. I don't even know how many McBain Moments videos I have out there. I should probably go look at the playlist. But a lot of my early McBain Moments videos are gone. Because I had, except on YouTube, because I had to do a hard reset on my Pixelbook, which is how I was filming them. And so what I did after that is I got the webcam for my Windows computer, and now I'm just doing it on my regular computer. Because I have backup systems in place for that. I regularly back it up. I have an outboard hard drive that's only connected to the computer when I'm doing backups. Actually, it's a solid state. I think it's 4 terabytes. But it's only connected when I'm doing backups. It's not part of the main setup. And so what that does is it makes sure that in the event something happens, I have all of my footage. And there's a lot of it. Like, I have a 1.8 terabyte hard drive, and probably 3/4 of a terabyte is just in video footage. And I need to go back and I need to back everything up again and delete it all off the main hard drive. But it's a lot. Okay, let's get ourselves to a safe spot. Oh, that's a snarg. I didn't realize there were snargs out here. It's also a snarg. It's also a snarg. Okay, we're between 2 mob herds. Good to know. We're gonna drop ourselves right here. Okay. Whoops! God bless it. Why would it do that? Like, I'm not pointed at anything. It's just gonna waste my ammo. Again. So, okay guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. Again, 100 subscribers. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye.